In this lecture, we're going to talk about the opposites of the CI triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. On the flip side, they are disclosure, alteration, or destruction, or DAD. Here again, things are what they sound like, and luckily throughout the course, you'll see that most cybersecurity terms are what they sound like. If our data is disclosed, that is the opposite of confidentiality. If someone who's not supposed to is able to alter our data, that is the opposite of integrity. We may or may not know what was changed, but we know something was changed, something unauthorized. And then finally, availability. If it is not available, if they destroy it, well, that's destruction. It does sound a little harsh, right? It's not necessarily something's destroyed. It could just be rendered inaccessible. That could be a DDoS attack. If it brings the server down, the server is not destroyed, right? But the data is not available. If you take the exam, you may potentially see questions that ask something where one of the keywords might be unaltered. Well, then you know it's integrity. Or you might see a scenario where we encrypt something and we digital sign it. Then it will ask, what did we do here? And the answer options might be confidentiality, availability, integrity, non-repudiation, authentication in some sort of mix. And then, since you finish this course, you understand both how encryption and digital signatures work, so you can pick the right answer. In this case, if we encrypt and digitally sign, then we get confidentiality, we get authentication, and we get non-repudiation, and we get integrity. At this point in the course, this is not something we've covered in depth, so I don't expect you to know these answers. Just understand the fundamentals of the CIA triad and understand how everything we do ties back to those three. Really, with anything that we're gonna cover for the rest of the course, stop real quick, think, how does this tie back to the CIA triad? So to recap, confidentiality is us protecting our information from unauthorized disclosure, and we can do that by using access control, file permissions, and encryptions. Now, if we don't do that, it can have negative impacts on our ability to compete. We can have loss of public confidence. There might be legal actions. We might be out of compliance. All of those are going to cost us a lot of money and could potentially put us out of business. Then we have integrity. That is making sure that the data is accurate and complete. And again here, we can do that through access control, logging, hashes, digital signatures, backups, and encryption. Now, if we don't do that, that could lead to loss of compliance, hardware failure, fraud, inaccuracy, and losses. Again here, this could put us out of business. And then finally, availability. That is authorized users not being able to access the resources and information they need to. Slightly different approach here. We still have access control, but we also have a lot of redundancy. We have high availability systems where it makes sense. We have backups, we have data replication, and then we have a good disaster recovery plan. And we will of course cover what all of that is later in the course. Now, if we can't maintain our availability, well then we won't operationally be effective. We lose production time, we might lose money, we might be out of compliance, and this could also lead to lawsuits and fines. And with that, we are done with the CIA triad. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next lecture.